So it was a Thursday, just like any other, or so I thought. I had come home from school exhausted, buried under a mountain of assignments and group projects. Senior year was no joke, and between trying to keep my grades up and applying to colleges, my mind was always racing. But nothing could have prepared me for what was about to unfold. So my mom had gone out of town for a few days to visit grandma, leaving dad and me alone. I'd always liked these times because it meant ordering takeout, watching whatever we wanted on TV, and staying up a little too late. Dad and I had always been close, or at least that is how it felt. He was the parent I could joke around with, the one who did not press me too hard when I got moody. So that night, I was upstairs, lying on my bed, scrolling through Instagram when I heard the front door click open. It was not unusual for Dad to come home late. He worked in real estate, which meant unpredictable hours. But something about the way the door opened, that quiet, almost hesitant sound, caught my attention. I figured I'd go down and say hi, maybe get him to order pizza. As I reached the top of the stairs, I heard whispering. At first I thought he was on the phone, but then I heard a soft laugh that was not his. It was a woman's voice. My stomach twisted. I crept halfway down the stairs and froze when I saw them. Dad was standing in the entryway with a woman and I did not recognize. She was tall with long dark hair, wearing a leather jacket and heels. They were not talking anymore. They were kissing. My heart felt like it dropped straight through the floor. I wanted to scream, to run down there and demand an explanation, but I could not move. I was frozen. All I could do was stare, hoping it wasn't real, that maybe I was misunderstanding what was happening. But I was not. It was clear, painfully clear. They pulled apart and I heard Dad laugh, the same way he used to laugh with Mom. The betrayal hit me like a punch. How could he do this to her? To us? I backed up, careful not to make a sound. My hands were shaking and I had to cover my mouth to keep from gasping. Once I was back in my room, I collapsed onto the bed, my mind racing in 1,000 different directions. I could not believe what I'd just seen. My dad, the man who had been a constant in my life, who always told me to do the right thing, was cheating on my mom. What was I supposed to do? For hours, I lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying the scene over and over. I did not cry. I was too numb to cry. I kept thinking about Mom, how she trusted him, how she always said they were a team, how she never saw this coming. The next morning, I could not look at him. He acted like everything was normal, asking me if I wanted waffles, joking about how he burned his toast again. I wanted to scream at him, ask him how he could stand there and pretend like nothing had happened. But I didn't say a word. Not yet. So that night after dinner, when I could not take the silence anymore, I cornered him in the living room. Dad, who was that woman last night? His face went pale and I knew right then and there that he was not going to lie. He could not. He opened his mouth and like he was going to say something, but no words came out. He just stood there, caught. I did not wait for him to explain. I saw you. I saw everything. The silence between us was suffocating. His eyes were filled with regret, but that did not matter. He had broken something in me, something in our family that I was not sure could ever be fixed. And he was like, "I'm sorry," he whispered finally. "It's complicated." I wanted to scream at him that it was not complicated, that he was ruining everything, but all I could manage was, "What about Mom?" He did not answer. He did not need to. I knew this was going to destroy her, and the thought of it made me sick. That was the night everything changed. So what would you do if you were me?